Tomorrow, when Joan of Arc burns at the stake, I want you to watch carefully. Not the young woman in the flames, but the men who sentenced her to burn. The English will carry out the sentence, but when nothing but her ashes remains, it is the Grand Duke of the West, our Duke of Burgundy, that will have seized a triumph. For you see, this spectacle is not really about the Maid of Orleans. Her death is only as important as the benefit that it brings us. What burns on that pyre is not Joan the person, but La Pucelle, the symbol of the French resistance. You are young, my son. You have never seen our duchy as anything but a powerful state. But we were not always so mighty. In the greater tale of history, Burgundy is but a newborn power, carved from the lands of the kingdoms and empires that surround us. Our ascent began with John the Fearless, the father of our current duke. Up until then, the Dukes of Burgundy and the Armagnac faction had been equal rivals, fighting for influence at the court of the mad King of France. Louis, the leader of the Armagnac faction, had been using the funds of the French crown for years to stifle John in any way possible. He also boasted of having bedded John's wife. Tiring of these insults, and Louis's abuse of royal influence, John decided to end their rivalry for good. Just 3 years into his reign, he sent 15 men to stab the Armagnac Duke to death on the streets of Paris in broad daylight. It was a true show of force. In one bloody act, John established himself as the most powerful duke in France. The Armagnac faction, now leaderless, began preparing for a long war. To keep the Burgundians occupied, they supported a revolt in the city of Liège, which was ruled by John's brother-in-law, the Duke of Bavaria. John the Fearless would not let such unrest spoil his plans for the Grand Duchy. And so he marched his armies north, to a small village outside Liège called Auteuil.
The Armagnacs are inciting the local population to take up arms and rebel. John, let us put an end to this insubordination.
Iroquois.
Sì, buongiorno. I Immédiatement. Prêt et compris. Bonjour.
Vos ordres?
Si.
Si.
I batti.
Sì, sì, i compru. Vos sì, mestru. Sì, i compru. Vos ven.
Vos ordres?
Fra.
Si. I chasse.
Vos sì. Sì, mestru. Vos i compru. Sì, Jarvis. Sì, sì, mestru. Vos sì, i compru. Sì, Jarvis. Sì, compru. Sì, ven. Jarvis. Vos
Evanse.
sì, ma i compru. I ven. E tacci.
Vos ordres?
Sì, Jarvis. Sì, sì, ma sì, ma i compru. I ven. E tacci. Vos Jarvis. Jarvis.
Evanse.
Bonjour. Vos ordres?
Vos sì, Jarvis.
The grain
Sì.
that the villagers
Sì.
had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Bonjour. Si. I vai. I chasse.
Buongiorno. I chasse. Si. I chasse. Fra. I
Prêt.
chasse.
I chasse. Immédiatement. I chasse.
Si.
Si.
Every
Go,
coin that we
Jarvis.
take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in
Vos
this
sì, ma
market.
Vos ordres?
Buongiorno.
Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop.
Si. Vos
We will make
ordres?
good use of these resources.
I batti.
Sì, Sì. Sì, Jarvis. Vos
Si.
Vos ordres?
Jarvis. I compru. Sì,
Evanse.
Jarvis.
Si. Si. I batti. Il recoil.
Sì, sì. Vos Jarvis.
E tacci.
Sì, ma i compru.
Evanse.
Sì, ma stru.
Evanse.
I compru. Sì, ma stru. Sì, ma stru.
E tacci.
Sì,
E tacci.
Vos
Evanse. E tacci.
i compru. Sì, i compru.
Evanse. E tacci. Evanse. Evanse. E tacci.
Vos ordres? Bonjour. I batti. 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 I vai.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now
Batti.
feed the Burgundian army.
I gusto buono.
Prêt. Bonjour.
Sì. Sì, ma stru.
Evanse.
I compru. Sì, ma stru. Sì, ma stru.
E tacci.
I compru.
Evanse.
Sì, i compru.
E tacci.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Vos
Vos ordres?
Buongiorno.
Sì, Jarvis. Sì, ma stru. I compru.
Evanse.
I compru.
E tacci.
Sì, ma
Evanse.
stru.
E tacci.
Jarvis.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Vos compru.
Vos ordres?
Si. I batti. I batti. I batti. I batti. I batti. I batti.
Buongiorno. Sì. I batti. I batti. I batti. I batti.
Sì,
Levante.
Vosotros.
Buongiorno, Batti, vosotros.
It is past time to take back
Sì,
what is mine. Charge, my knights, charge! What are you waiting for? John the Fearless, join me!
Fra. Sì. I batti, i batti.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Buongiorno. Fra. I batti, i batti, i batti, i batti.
Immediatno. I bati.
Vosotros, i batti. Sì, vosotros.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market.
Sì. I bati.
Lumber and
Vosotros.
stone were stored in the trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
I bati. Sì, vosotros. Buongiorno. I bati. I bati.
Fra. I batti.
Levante. Levante. Le tacce. Levante. Le tacce.
Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop.
Sì,
We will
buongiorno.
make good use of these resources.
Sì, i comprò.
Sì, i bati. Sì, i bati.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian
Vosotros.
army.
I bati.
Sire, your
Vosotros.
nefarious enemies in Paris have renewed the charges against you for freeing France from this insane tyrant. Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop.
Buongiorno.
We will make good use of these resources.
Seem not to take me seriously. I will show them. No more mercy to our enemies. Spare no one.
Fra.
Vosotros. Immediatno. I bati.
I bush to bo. Vosotros.
direct. Sì. They touch it.
I bati. Sì.
Uso compru. Sì, dai, tru. Uso compru.
Buongiorno. I vai. I batti immediatamente vai. I batti.
Buongiorno. Compro i bati.
Sì.
Sì, compro i bati. I bati.
Uso direct.
Pra. I batti. 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 I batti.
Sì, service.
Sì, gusto buono. Buongiorno. Vosotros immediat gusto buono. Buongiorno. I gusto buono.
Vosotros. I batti. Sì, buongiorno. Pra. I commedia i batti.
Vosotros i bati.
Sì, ma tru. Uso direct.
Sì. I gusto
Sì, usato. Sì, compru. Uso.
These simple-minded rebels in Liège seem to think that our scouts would not discover their secret gunpowder depots. How wrong they are. Destroy the depots, so the Liège rebels can no longer make use of their cannons.
Sì, compru. Sì, compru. Sì, ma tru. Sì, ma tru.
A1 6, hard.
Vosotros i bati.
Sì. I batti. 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 I batti.
Sì, uso.
A1 6.
Noxious rebels somehow managed to break into my camp. Come to my aid as quickly as possible, John.
Sì, come sì, ma tru.
We have destroyed one of the rebels' gunpowder stores, sire.
Uso compru.
Buongiorno. Sì. I bati.
Sì, usato. Sì, service. Travis.
Tak, sì, media i compra. I bati.
Both gunpowder depots are in ruins, sire. Without their cannons, the rebels will be an easier target.
Sopra si comprò i dati. Sì, buongiorno.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army. Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market.
To overcome the walls of Liège, we will need siege weapons. It would be wise to start constructing some, John.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market. The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army. Lumber and stone were stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Buongiorno, i miei. I dati.
I mi.
Sì, i dati. Ra. I bati, i bati, i bati, i bati, i bati, i bati. Subo. Ibati.
Our Duke has been wounded. Return him to safety so that he can recover from his wounds.
Pozor, immédiatement. Ibati. Sì, buongiorno. Ibati. Buongiorno. I battiti. Fatti reparare i mini.
But I will not show mercy to these traitors. Drive all rebels out of their hiding places. Hang them all! Wipe out their entire families while you are absent!
The Battle of Auteuil was a decisive victory for John the Fearless. He rode in triumph to Paris, and his armies entered the city without a fight. The Armagnac plot had failed. But since they had not openly waged war on him, John could not yet exact his revenge by force. Instead, John had the 15-year-old son of the deceased duke brought before him. Still mourning the death of his father, the boy was forced to forgive his father's murderer in public. A cruel act, you say? And that it was. But remember, my son, that cruelty was not John's goal, only a means to an end. By orchestrating this public display, John showed not just the boy, but the entire house of Armagnac on their knees, kissing his feet. It was one insult too many for the proud Armagnacs, and the struggle between the two factions would soon turn into open war.